Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is Talking Crazy 88. Back again for another podcast for you about bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. On this beautiful Sunday afternoon, I'm about to head out in a few minutes, but I just wanted to talk about a video that Dr. Umar put out. I might play a little bit of the clip, but I just wanted to give my side, give my take on it. So here we go. I'm going to play a little bit of Dr. Umar's clip. It's regarding his lawsuit against a Kansas City thought who he took in as a home health aide for his mother, but you know, she started blabbing about her medical condition to everybody. So I'm gonna talk about Dr. Umar and why this man will forever be a joke, and also that if he does manage to open that school, it will be a grand opening and a grand closing within the year. And I'll tell you why.
Were in the works against me at the same time. Now, I do care for my mother, who I love more than anything in this world. And for those of you who care for your parents, you understand where I'm coming from. This is information that I didn't want to share, but I think it is appropriate to the conversation. And if I don't finish this conversation now, I'll finish it later because we do have some things getting done today. So, I do not know if my firstborn is still with us in the flesh or not. People have been texting me that she may have unalived herself. God forbid. I'm going to hope for the best that no such thing has happened. And I'm going to speak to Baby Smurf's situation in a minute. I'm going to speak to that. But I just want to lay the groundwork by saying that all of this began while I was in Stockholm, Sweden. All of this began while I was in Stockholm, Sweden. All of this began while I was in Stockholm, Sweden. So I've been taking care of my mother for the past 7.5 years. Spring of 2018. Many of y'all know that in January of 2018, after returning from my second trip to Japan and China, in January of 2018, after returning from my second trip to Japan and China, I had to stand trial with charges that were put upon me by the Pennsylvania State Board of Psychology that were motivated by YouTubian struggle streamers and Dr. Umar detractors. Y'all remember that? Well, shortly thereafter, my mother was hospitalized. My mother has multiple sclerosis. Multiple sclerosis. Okay, she's diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. We've always known that, but it didn't begin to affect her. And after 60 days away from home, my mother finally came home the day before Baby Smurf's birthday, 2018. And I've been caring for my mother for 7.5 years ever since.
I'm going to speed this up because it's not relevant. I know it's just a setup, but just to set up the video, this podcast up. But my heart goes out to Dr. Umar and his family and his mother. I hope she does recover or gets the care that she needs, so he can spend a little bit more time with her on this earth. So I'm just going to speed it up a little bit.
She got off of all that. Medications no longer necessary. I'm not perfect, but in my 7.5 years, I have done a great job with my mother. And I can say that most of the time when my mother had a situation, it was because of the aides and the caregivers. It was because of the aides and the caregivers. And so Normally, and for those of y'all who care for your parent, you know how tough it is to find decent, professional, reliable, confidential help, right? Decent, professional, reliable, comprehensive help, right? And so, let me see something here. I'm going to turn off the comments, brothers and sisters. This is the first live that I've ever turned off the comments, but I have to. There's just too much ignorance in my feed. This is the first live I've ever done where I had to turn off the comments. I just turned off the comments because I'm talking seriously and we still got idiots. So this is going to be without any comments. You can text message me if you have a question or a comment. 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. You can text message me at 215-989-9858. So, whenever I don't have a dependable, responsible, reliable, confidential aide to care for my mom, I cancel events because my mother always comes first. My mother always comes first. I was supposed to keynote the Florida A&M University Black Psychology Conference a few months ago. I canceled it because I didn't have anyone that I would trust to care for mother available at that time. I had to cancel Congo last week, and y'all know how much I wanted to go to the Congo. I had been waiting for that. I had to cancel because mom comes first. When I went to Sweden, there was a young lady who I met because she invited me to Kansas City to speak at an event. So her and her son drove me from Omaha, Nebraska to Kansas City to speak. I believe the event was on December 3rd, 2023. I believe the event was on December 3rd, 2023. I believe the event was December 3rd, 2023. And we had the event. We stayed in contact through text message. And ultimately, at the top of this year, maybe late last year, but if I'm not mistaken, I saw her privately 3 times inside of the same Philadelphia hotel after hours for no more than 2 or 3 hours. I repeat, I saw her 3 times in a hotel after hours for only a few hours. 3 times. There's a small chance that it was 4 times. There's no chance that it was 5 times. I'm going to repeat this. Did you need me, boss? Are you good? Okay. So I saw her 3 times inside of a Philadelphia hotel.
All right. He met a woman, a black woman, met her 3 times in a hotel as a jump off. All right. Let me just stop right here because he's elevating a jump off to care for his mother. Let's continue.
After hours, for about 3 or 4 hours. That's it. The total private time she and I spent could not have exceeded 12, 15, 20 hours max. Total time across these 3 visits, maybe 4, but I'm almost certain it was 3. No more than 12 to 15, maximum of 20 hours. When it was time for me to go to Sweden, this young lady told me that she would not mind coming to care for my mother. I assured her that I would pay her, and I did pay her. And this is going to be important when I bring up the attorney in a minute, because I consulted with an attorney in Kansas City who told me that if I can prove that I paid her to care for my mother, then she can be charged with HIPAA violations for discussing my mother's personal, sensitive medical information without permission. So this attorney said, if I can prove that I paid her, which means this was business, This was a business transaction. You paid her to care for your mother. And although she included plenty of lies in her narrative, although she included plenty of exaggerations and fallacies and untruths in her narrative, the mere fact that she purported to discuss your mother's personal sensitive information makes her guilty of HIPAA. And if we can prove that she in fact violated HIPAA law by discussing my mother's business, she can be fined, and she can also be jailed, and she can also be prevented permanently from ever working in the human services field again. An attorney told me that, so I have to pay him. Okay.
So let me get this straight. This was a throat goat that you met 3 times in a Kansas City hotel, who, prior to her slobbing the knob, all right, she offered to drive you from Omaha to Omaha, Nebraska, from Kansas City or whatever it is, so you can meet so you won't have to miss an obligation. All right. So what this sounds like is that this woman actually likes you, Dr. Umar. Thought she was in a relationship with you, Dr. Umar, and you gave up the sex. She caught feelings for you, Dr. Umar. But let's go ahead and continue this nonsense.
Okay, the retainer fee, and he's going to pick it up from here. So she could go to jail for what she did against my mother.
So now you're going to try to get this woman jailed for spilling the beans about your mother's medical condition. Now, keep in mind, Dr. Umar, you so-called hired this woman, or she offered, with probably no compensation, because now you have to prove that you paid her. I don't think you paid her. There was no compensation. I think she did this as a favor for you because she thought she was in a relationship with you, Dr. Umar. All right? And then you told her the truth that you were nothing but a jump off, and there's nothing more. There's no relationship involved. Then it got messy. See, Dr. Umar, I don't need to play anymore. It's on his King Consciousness channel. I've heard 37 minutes of this nonsense. Now, keep in mind, people, this is going to be a principal. This is going to be the principal of a school that he's supposedly opening up for the past, 15, 16 years. Collecting donations, collecting GoFundMe. And, every year there's a fundraising to open this school. First, he was trying to buy Philander Smith College, which closed down, I think somewhere in Virginia. Now he finally got a building in Wilmington, Delaware, which I walked right by when I was down in Wilmington. I walked right by the dang on school. All right, and it was still rough looking. As a matter of fact, the whole Wilmington, Delaware looks rough, man. But anyway, we ain't gonna go into that. So now there's supposedly going to be a grand opening this school year. But yet this man is doing lives. He's traveling all over the world doing speeches, telling black men not to mess with snow bunnies and all that nonsense. But yet you're not disciplined sexually. And fellas, this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about as being a black man. Being a sexually undisciplined black man. See, when you run around having sex with all different types of women, with protection and sometimes no protection, and a baby comes about it. Sometimes y'all have more than one baby, but yet y'all take care of your children, right? Sexually undisciplined. I can't mess with you. If you're sexually undisciplined, I can't mess with you. That's your business. If you want to go out and have sex with thoughts, on throat goats and all that nonsense, I don't care. That should be a private affair. But now you're going to sue this woman because she offered. I don't think she took any compensation for caring for your mother. I think she did it voluntarily. And also, how do you know her qualifications, Dr. Umar? If she was a professional, she wouldn't even mention it. But I think she was in a relationship with you. And you dumped her. And this is the result. When you're messing with a woman. So now you're going to come back and start saying that her pussy is smell like an aquarium and all that, which I'm not going to play that, because this is a man who loves black women and respects black women, who reveres black women as goddesses in the community. And that every black man should be married to a black woman. Okay? But yet you're undisciplined. You're open about your undisciplined sexuality. I mean, think about it. Your priorities are off. Your child may have committed suicide, but yet you're doing a live about this nonsense? About a lawsuit against a woman? A black woman? Now, I'm not defending her. She may have been a throat goat. She may have been a hoe or something like that. I just don't see any evidence of it. I just don't see any evidence on your side. I don't believe you, Dr. Umar. That's all I'm saying. I don't believe you. I really don't believe you. So with me, fair is fair. I can call a woman, I can just say bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks all day long, but I have to be fair and balanced. I know how to read the room. I know how to read people. And I think you're a liar, Dr. Umar. I think you're lying. And judging by the comments, let's read some of the comments on this ridiculous video, which I think you should take down, Dr. Umar, because it doesn't make you look good. And this is going to be your downfall when that school does open, because you're going to get into so much controversy, so much bullshit that you're going to get yourself into because you're up here fucking with the women. So fellas, it always got to be business before pleasure. Now, if it's business, it should stay business. If it's pleasure, it should stay pleasure. All right? If you're just having sex with this woman, it should have stayed that way. You should have let her be known and been honest with her. This is what it is. There's nothing going to be more of it. There's no relationship. There's nothing to be gained from this. I mean, no, I'm not going to allow you to take care for my mother. I'll find a professional. Thank you very much, but that's okay. I don't mix business with pleasure. You should have been straight with her. See, at my age, all this lying and deceiving women and all this nonsense and calling women names and shit like that because she wanted to get back at you. You should have just took the L. And fellas, this is another reason why you should never mix business with pleasure. If you're just having sex with a woman, just keep it that way. If that's your girl, just keep it that way. All right? If she's just a throat goat, just keep it that way. But if you're really doing business with a woman, keep it that way as well. Because there's certain women you shouldn't really be having sex with. I'm sorry. I had to learn the hard way. I was no different. But I was like in my 20s and my early 30s before I learned that lesson, that hard lesson in life. Now, I never got caught up in no sexual harassment nonsense or anything like that, but it was borderline. It was borderline. I can honestly say it was borderline, and I cringe every time I think about it. I'm not going to tell the story right now because I gotta go, but I'll tell that story some other time. But listen, I got to get on out of here. This is Talking Crazy 88, and I am out of here, and I'll be back with another video podcast later on, all right? Y'all take care. You enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your Sunday, Enjoy the rest of your week. All right? Peace.